Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone on today? Happy Thursday to each and every one of you. God is so good in every single way. And I wanted to share with you some undiscovered resources that we can tap into when life brings us challenges. When life brings us challenges, we have some undiscovered resources that we can tap into. But however, big or small, global or personal, stress and challenges are woven into the fabric of our daily lives. And you know that life can take us by surprise, pushing us to the limit and beyond. That happens quite a bit in our lives. And so we realize that we have some trying times, and especially that we've been going through, and it's probably seemed like it's getting worse and not getting better. But however, we realize that stress isn't new, of course. It's not. All of us have our own stories to share. And I say this quite a bit, that no one can tell your story but you, because you're the only one really know about your story as far as your personal experience. Now, other people might witness it, but nobody can tell your story better than you can. And so we go through a lot of things. And the problem with dramas like these, the things that we're seeing in our judicial system and in politics, in our communities, a lot of different, even in broken relationships where there's a lot of, murders and killings. And we're seeing it play out on social media with Instagram models, being murdered, like the Mercedes Moore that was murdered, but her name was Janae Gagne or something like that. But we see a lot of stuff going on, and people are doing a lot of stuff too, and doing the most. And I kind of sometimes often wonder, when some people are murdered, and don't get me wrong, don't misunderstand me, when things like this happen, because it's a tragedy and it's horrific, and I don't think that anyone deserves to be their life taken. But do we ever think about what led up to that? And have we made, or have those people made any choices in their life that have put them at risk in situations? And so don't misunderstand me. I'm just saying, and because so much that goes on, and sometimes we create our own drama. And let's just tell the truth. I'm not saying who you are. I don't know. But even in my own life, have I ever created my own drama? It's a big possibility. Yes, I have. But I've learned to how to not create some drama, so it's not some drama that we have to unnecessarily go through. And so a lot of times, though, we have drama that comes without warning. It comes without warning, and we're already burdened by anxieties and about ongoing concerns beyond our control anyway, because, like, again, we can't control what life is going to bring us. We can't control a lot of the ups and downs that go on when we have to deal with other people out in the community or on our jobs. Those are things that, it's complex, and there's other people involved. But however, when a crisis comes and we're already under stress, simply from the load that we carry in our daily lives, because there's family responsibilities, there's tense relationships. You might have some issues with family members, or maybe even a spouse, or maybe even your children that don't want to do right, or getting poor grades in school, or elementary, middle school, high school, college. You may be paying their college tuition. Just a lot of different situations that are coming up, or you might even be worried about money. And a lot of people these days are worried about money. And so a lot of people are finding ways, many people, I'll say, that are finding alternative ways to earn money. And some of it is not good money. Some of it is not money that God would be pleased with. And that's why, we have this scripture: the love of money is the root of all evil, because some people love money so much that they're willing to destroy other people's lives. They're willing to destroy, and cause havoc and problems in other people's lives because they love money so much. And I even saw a video where the grandson of Miss Holla was out here promoting a GoFundMe, saying that he was trying to get money for his own personal aspirations, and that his grandmother would have wanted him to own that liquor store that she was going to help him buy, help him purchase or get, before he passed away. And it was just so despicable, really, to listen to him talk. It was just sad to hear all of that, because we see her as a legacy, and we want to remember the good things about her and the humor that she shared and her wisdom. And I learned that she's actually from East St. Louis, and I have family in East St. Louis. I have family that grew up there. Although we didn't live in East St. Louis, but I have blood relatives that live in East St. Louis that are still there. Some have moved away, some have passed away. But it was interesting to see that. And I looked at her, and I don't remember, and I shared it with my mother, and my mother said, well, I would look into it because she might know her. My mother might know of her, or her family, because my mother knows a lot of people because they actually grew up in the South End down there. And so anyway, my late grandmother passed away. She was about 92 years of age. So anyway, getting back to what I was saying is, we're already carrying in our daily lives family responsibilities, tense relationships, money worries, work pressures, the pressures from work, or having to work overtime, or maybe just even get to work or cover someone else's shift, and those incessant nagging fears about the state of our neighborhoods. And if you go to certain states like Louisiana or Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi, and some of the areas like in New Jersey, like Camden, New Jersey, there are some areas that are just dilapidated, and they're pretty bad. And so there's those fears. And then what about the school system? You're dealing with the school systems where they don't want to teach the children correctly. They don't want to, or they just don't want to do what's right. And then there's the biasness that you have to deal with. And that just doesn't come in the school system with your children, but that comes in all different walks of life, dealing with biasness, the bias, discrimination, stereotyping, just different things like that. And even the threat of terrorism. When you think about the threat of terrorism and people, these mass shootings, there was a mass shooting actually in up north right after the Monterey Park shooting. There was a mass shooting, and this man looks like an older man, I think in his 70s. He shot 7 people, and it killed 7 people. And so we're looking at this, a world at war, and right in our own country of the United States, it seems like we're dealing with a world at war, right? And so and so we forget that life will always be filled. It's going to be full of ups and downs. It's going to be full of ups and downs, but we don't have to go up and down with it. You see what I'm saying? Excuse me. Life is full of ups and downs, but do we need to go up and down with it? Or can we stay steady? Can we stay steady? Can we stay steady instead of going up and down? When life takes us down, do we fall down with it? Or do we stay steady and stay the course? And because we can't control what life sends us. We can't control what life sends us. But we can have a say in how we respond, right? We can have a say in how we respond. We can have a say in how we respond to the situations that happen in life, our life situations. And so one of the things is the secret. The secret is the mind. The secret is the mind, because it is the mind that feels agitated. Not necessarily our bodies feel agitated, but our minds do. Our minds feels agitated. Our mind feels stressed. We become pressured, helpless, or even anxious. And with the anxiousness and fight or flight, right? That fight or flight. And if you're dealing with the flight, you could, there's a lot that goes on with fight or flight. Your blood pressure can be increased, rise up, heavy breathing, anxiety, maybe even break out in a sweat, and things like that. And your mind is pressured on what you're going to do. And you don't want to linger. You don't want to be stagnant or procrastinate. And you become pressured in trying to make a decision that you feel you need to make right away, right? Or You become helpless. I don't know what I'm going to do. I just don't know. I'm helpless. And things like that. And it's the mind that can learn to stay calm. Our minds can learn to stay calm, resourceful, compassionate, and effective. And that's the good thing. That's the good thing that we can learn to do in these undiscovered resources, right? And everything depends on our state of mind. And the one thing in life we can do something about is our state of mind. Most of the time, we can do something about our state of mind, and we can work on that. We don't have to, you know, we don't have to, uh, you know, uh, stay in a bad place. And in order to develop, we already have everything we need to draw on. It's a matter of you know, is to calm the mind so that its agitation doesn't get in the way. And we can learn to do that by praying, by taking a step back, you know, and understanding that this is not the end of the world. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We don't have to stay in that place, and we can learn to, you know, to pray about it. Even if we're standing in a long line and we start to get anxiety, I got to get home and make dinner. I got to hurry up and get home, and we could just stop and take a deep breath and just say, Lord, within ourselves, Lord, I know you're going to get me through this. Help me to be patient as I stand in this line. Because, if you go to Walmart, the lines are long. Mainly in every store, grocery stores, the lines are long. But Walmart is one of them that we know the lines is always long. Nothing negative to say about Walmart. I don't want to get into that about my, experiences with Walmart. Uh, but when the mind is agitated or confused, the deeper resources we require are simply locked up inside. Um, and so it's so important to remember Christ, that Christ wants the best for us. Christ wants us to be able to be calm and stop reacting so quickly. You know, it calms us down when we stop reacting so quickly, whether we're facing a minor irritation or a major drama. And we can repeat some phrases that can help us when we need that strength that we feel like we can't find. Um, you know, and we can draw on, quoting some things and just praying in our minds, and it halts our rise in anger or fear or panic, and it can give us breathing space. And meditation does that too. Meditation is really good. Uh, it's a wonderful thing to meditate. It really is, to meditate in your private time, meditating, but just giving us some space and stepping back, And so, you know, because the thing is about this thing about getting really caught up, in a whole bunch of silly things and negative things. We really need to be able to do some things that can help us relax, right? And to help us to be able to gain control when we're starting to feel out of control, because we all need to unwind, right? We all need to unwind. And see, there's a lot of trouble. The entertainment offered by the mass media. Let's talk about that for just a moment. It is so often unhealthy. If you spend your most of your day watching unhealthy social media, the news, it is very unhealthy. And that's what I brought up yesterday about nourishing your mind, the junk experience, and recognizing, we have to recognize the junk experience. Are we experiencing too much junk in our lives that's going to cause us to be overwhelmed or stressed out? I'm not the only one. So that's why I can talk about these things, because I found myself being caught up in it, and I had to take a step back, and we all at some point have to take a step back. And how can we nourish the mind and still have fun? You know, and we have to watch the news because we need to stay aware of things that's going around us and what's going on in the world, so we can better prepare ourselves and we can actually do a do something that God has called us to. So if God purposed in your heart to help, how do you know to help? Or how do you know what needs to get done to reach your full potential, to change some things, some circumstances that can help yourself and others and your family if you don't stay alert and watchful. So we do need to watch the news, but when we do it all day long and we spending time all day long looking and watching things that are negative, uh, it becomes a problem. And see, the unconscious mind does not distinguish between real and unreal. Everything is experience and it can sink in. And who you hang out with or hang around starts to rub off, and it does. And none of us are uh, none of us are untouchable, as I want to say. None of us are untouchable. So what else can you do to relax? Okay, so preparing and eating a meal with friends. And I'm talking about genuine friends, not these frenemies and foes, but real friends that you have vetted, that you have been around, that you see that they're there for you. They're not throwing shady subliminals at you. They are truly genuine friends. And then gardening. How many of you like to garden? You know, you got a little yard or a big yard, and you have a garden, or you have plants in your home that you can talk to and tend to. Then you see in them blossom, things like that. Or making music, making music, acting, painting. Those are good things, or even beautiful word finds. Good morning, Unique. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I appreciate you joining in. I actually went out yesterday and bought me another word find puzzle, and it's a beautiful picture of a black woman with her head a scarf on. Good morning, Miss Priscilla. How you doing? How you doing? Happy New Year, because some of you I haven't really talked to or seen out there in the YouTube, chats and things like that. So happy New Year, and praying that your new year will be better than it was last year, and that God will continue to prosper each and every one of you. And so a word find is very, very stimulating. Putting a puzzle, a puzzle together. A puzzle is very stimulating. Putting a puzzle together, but even word finds can help you, and it builds your vocabulary. A word find, but the puzzle very stimulating to put it together. And once you put a puzzle together, you can actually use clear glue to glue it and then frame it up on your wall, and it become a beautiful picture. Or even getting into some type of team sport. Some people play team sports, hiking, if you want to go hiking, or even again, just getting out walking. If you don't want to be around a lot of people, because a lot of times the gym brings a lot of people, that's what it's there for. And you might want to just decide to take your workout outside of the gym. And like for me, I incorporate a lot of things in my when it comes to workouts. Like yesterday, I was shooting hoop, and I'm practicing because I'm going to be playing this summer, and I want to be able to hit some 3-pointers against some of these people I'm playing against. But anyway, so it's a lot of things that we can do. I make jewelry. That's one of my little small business on the side. I make jewelry. And that's stimulating for me to create beautiful things for people. And I sew. So those are things that help me. But I also volunteer. I do a lot of volunteering. Okay, we have to get together on the crafting side. I make jewelry, baskets, coasters. Oh, good. You know what? I would love to see that, Miss Unique. I definitely would love to see that. You know what? We might be able to get together on Zoom. That would be a good idea. Getting together on Zoom will probably be a good idea. I have Zoom on my computers or whatever, tablet or whatever. I have Zoom, and that might be a good idea that we can get together on Zoom and be able to share back and forth. That is beautiful. I'm really I like that. And actually, if you I will put my email is usually in the comments. My email, because if you reach out to me, we can talk about it offline, and things like that, as far as that. And then we can set up a time, for that, because I would truly appreciate that. And then like going to a concert or an art gallery or an exhibition. Like I know that concerts have gotten a little, for people scary, because of all the mass shootings and things like that keep happening. But there are sometimes little small, okay, let's do a drop. Okay, I will. But there are some, smaller concerts that happen in your community, which might be nice. or an art gallery. I love going to art galleries. Those are nice things to do, to look at, really beautiful pieces of art. And those are things that are really, really good. But I know that this is just a small list of things that you can do to help relax your mind. And with that being said, it helps you once you start to doing more things that are positive, that helps to relax your mind. It really does help to keep you from flying off the handle so fast, because we don't want to be flying off the handle when we're out in town, when we're out around company. Um, we want to be able to relax. And so a healthy mind is also about our choices. Um, it is a healthy mind is also about our choices. With any experience, we should ask ourselves, will this make me calmer or wiser? Anything that we get involved in, is it going to help me? Is it going to make me calmer? Is it going to make me wiser? Or is it just drama? Because we can watch things and we can get takeaways on what not to do, how not to act, and to be more alert and aware of things, right? But the question goes back to, is it going to make me calmer or wiser? Or if what I'm watching or experiencing or participating in, is it going to cause me even more stress in my already complicated life? Now, some people may not have a complicated life, but a lot of times we do go get in some complicated, complex situations, and then we get involved with things or watch things that compound what we're already going through. And we automatically start to absorb the influence of those around us, for better or for worse. And so we don't want to be influenced by the worst. We want to be influenced by the better. And so, with that being said, we just got to remember that when we're getting to our breaking point, take a step back. It's taking a break away from the chaos, taking a break from that, and asking ourselves, being that I believe that all of you that have followed my channel, you are believers. And so, in the word of God and scripture, and I believe that is so important to think about, what would God have for me? God wants me to be in a loving relationship, a forgiving relationship, forbearing, tender mercies, wise, the goodness of the Lord. And so he wouldn't want me to be caught up in a lot of crazy stuff. Okay, no problem. He wouldn't want me to be caught up in so much bad things, and negative things. And so instead of getting caught up in so much things that you trying to keep yourself in the word, yeah, because I'm telling you that there's nothing wrong with even, and I want to say this too, because I know that sometimes people, they only want to hear about what goes on around the R. Kelly stuff. And I want to say this, it can become draining. I recognize this man, and let me say this, and I'm being honest, and I'm not here to throw stones at no one. I realize this man has been mistreated in the judicial system. He's been violated as far as his rights, and there's a lot of evil players that have done a lot of things, right? Um, but we also have to be mindful that there's a lot of people that are still doing the most, still doing evil things, still bringing stuff up around this man's name. They just won't leave him alone, his name alone. They're still out here capitalizing off this man's name, anything that can bring drama around this man's name. And if people really step back, first of all, the man has children, and no one's thinking about the things his children have suffered. They're not. Right, it's very toxic. And no one is even thinking about the things his children have suffered. And I believe he has a grandchild now, or going to. They're not thinking about that. I believe that, at some point, the people that are doing all this stuff, it's not healthy. It's not healthy for me. And I can't speak for no one else, but just knowing what is healthy and what's not, it's not healthy for no one to be caught up in a lot of foolishness and to be listening to all this toxicity. Do we want information? Absolutely. Do we want updates? Absolutely. But I refuse to listen to folks that are over here lying and making up stories. and all they doing is creating drama. That's not updates. How is that helping this man? How is that bringing peace to a situation that we know was unpeaceable? How is that bringing justice to an unjustice situation? It's not, when you're constantly creating battles and beefing. Right. And the people in the world, let's say that the world, when God created the world, it was good, and it's still good. It's the people, some people, not all, in the world that are creating this type of madness, this type of evilness. And when I look and think about it, those people can't help me. If they can't help me pay my bills, they can't help me get anything right in my life. But I do know that God can with his word. And if I'm willing to, and allowing God in my life, and willing to participate in my daily studies and prayer, in the word of God, in meditation, and if I'm willing to participate in things that's going to help me reach higher goals, to help others, then guess what? That's what I'm going to be seeking and pursuing, not the negativity. And when I came out with the stick with it for 6 weeks, I mean that. Sticking with the 6 weeks, wherever you are, whatever form or mode of exercise, just getting back to life, getting back to healthiness, getting back to what God has called us to and the purpose that he has in our life. And if God is giving you an opportunity to go back to school, your focus should be on getting through school and getting good grades. If God is giving you an opportunity to coach or teach or minister to other women, that's what God would have for you to do. Then we got to put aside all the other stuff and focus on what God has given us, his gift. And I minister to women. I talk to women, and I teach, and I'm going to be talking about, I have another book that I will be bringing, and it's called Mom, Sex is No Big Deal, Becoming Your Daughter's Best Ally. And I think that for us, I think that until we as women heal, we cannot help anybody else heal, even our own children. If we are broken, if we've never gotten through our trauma, how can we help our daughters and be the best ally for our daughters or granddaughters if we have never healed ourselves, if we have never got help for the traumas we've experienced as a young girl or woman? Then how can we become someone else's ally, whether it's your biological daughter or a niece or granddaughter, or even just ministering to other young women? And so I'm going to be doing that sometime this year. I don't have a date yet, but I will be, like I did with the Joyce Meyer 2 books, when I came out and I did those. And then I did this, the Walk with Ease program. And out of that, developed the Stick With It 6 weeks. And I try to upload videos every now and then just to inspire people, because I know that everyone is on their own schedule. So, so it would be hard for us to get together, but I do ask how you're doing with it. And I've had people to say, I walk every day, or I walk during my working hours. Right. And so I'm going to, and I'm gonna be keeping you in prayer with that, Miss Unique, because you know what? We got to get back to reconciliation and restoration. And there could be reasons, and we got to have real talks that are not judgmental towards our daughters and our sons. I have a son. I don't have a daughter, but I have a lot of nieces. But we got to get back to real talks. And with me raising a son, with my late husband raising a son, what happened is that I'm very close to my son, and he's an adult. He's married now with a family, but I was very close, and I always kept the door open for him to talk with me and to share with me. I did that a lot because it's so important, even as having sons. And we see a lot of young men are broken. And I was at the park, and let me share this with you, not yesterday, but the day before yesterday. I was at the park. What's today? Is Thursday. It was Tuesday. And I had got through with my power walk, and I was over there shooting hoops. And there was a young man. He was black. I'm going to say that because it's true. And there was 3 Hispanic men. The young man was so toxic, and they were playing basketball. He got so toxic. He kept calling the word B in, and he was just going on, and he wanted to fight. He was calling people's bluff over there. And there was another man sitting, oh, he was a white gentleman sitting off on a bench. There was another man with his baby in a stroller. And there was a few people at the park on the playground behind the concession stand. And this young man just kept going on and on and on until finally he got in a fight with one of the other men. And that other man gave him one punch and he was bleeding. And that man said, I'm a professional boxer. Now, I told you to stop. And I didn't. And they were even trying to tell him, man, let's just play basketball. He wanted to fight. And they were like, how do you take a basketball game and turn it into wanting to fight? And now that you got hit because you hit first and the other person defended themselves, now you want to go and get a gun and shoot us. And it was I mean, for real. And I'm like, please stop. And I'm like trying to get them to stop. Please stop fighting. Please, please, please stop. You don't want to do this. Please stop. I hate to see this. And it was one young man that was part of the back, over there. He said to me, he said, ma'am, what is your name? And I told him. And then he said, well, can I have your information because you are a witness and you saw what happened? And yes, I was a witness. And that really, honestly, the young black man started it. But I didn't want to go that far with it because, that's if the police was to identify me, but I'm not. I just so look, I just want you all, please just separate, go your own way. And, please don't get into it. But the young man that did hit the other man, his brother works with the other man. And he was threatening that young man's brother. And it's just so sad that we have to see this. And I kept thinking, exactly, be careful out there. And that's what I said. That's why I didn't want to give him, my information. Because I was like, no, I don't want to be just, you know what I'm saying? Unless I'm called to be a witness. And then that's even going to be a problem because, uh, you know, I don't want to be involved in all that, but to say the least, I didn't record it because I'm not that type of person. I'd rather try to resolve an issue than have it all on social media. Look at them, look at them. That is inappropriate to me, but people do it all the time. And if you're recording to protect yourself, that's different. But it was just, I don't know. My first instinct was to please ask them to stop. And they did break it up. They respected me and they broke it up and went on their separate ways. But it was just the whole principle that had happened and I witnessed it. And I'm just saying, I saw this. And sometimes our young black men are so broken because maybe their mothers are broken also. And I'm not saying all, so please don't misunderstand me. But there are a lot of broken women that have suffered trauma, that have had children. And when they have children, they've never really got the help they needed. And so therefore, it is a cycle. And we have to learn to get our help in order to become the best ally for our children and grandchildren, if there's grandchildren involved. And so we can become stronger, we can become noble, more secure with associating with people that want the best for us, that are positive in our life, and spending time with those who embody the qualities that we admire. And so your qualities that you admire, hanging out with people like that, fellowshipping with people like that, what are your values? And do they have the same values that you have? And what are your standards? And do they meet the standards that you have? Because you have a right to set standards for yourself and who you want to be around. Right, exactly, Miss Unique. They're being caught up, innocent people. And so we have a right to set standards for ourselves and what our values are and live out our values. That's so important. And so, and even in relationships, if we have to understand, if you get involved and you're a woman or a man, because I have men that come to my channel too, but if you get involved in a relationship and you get involved too soon, you haven't had an opportunity really to get to know who that person is, or them to get to know you and the values of what their values are. And do they really, if they say, I believe in God, but do they practice it? Do they go to church? Are they willing to go to church with you? If you go to church, do you attend church, whether it's in physical or online, or are they just saying that? Do they read the Bible with you? Do they pray over their meal? Are they willing to pray? Those are a lot of qualities that you got to look for. And it's not just what they believe as far as their spiritual beliefs, Do they have a good work ethic? Do they go to work and work diligently and try to be the peacemaker at work by minding their own business and doing what's right? Or do they call off a lot and they can't keep a job? There are so many different areas that we have to vet when it comes to relationships. And what about school? Do they, if they're in college and they say they're going to school, are they doing well in school? Do they study? Are they studying to show themselves approved to get through school and make good grades? Or are they flunking out? Or are they just making stuff up? Or if they say they have a degree, have you ever seen the degree? And can they speak with you in a manner that tells you that yes, they have a degree, yes, they went to school, yes, they have their diploma from that university, or they have a high school diploma, things like that? Have they ever been in prison? Have they ever been in caught up with the law? And it doesn't make your past mistakes doesn't have to determine your future, even if you have been caught up in the judicial system and you've made some mistakes in the past. But have they turned it around? And their track record shows that they've turned it around. So there's a lot of different things that we can do to become our children or someone else's ally if we're mentoring to young people or even our family. So it's really important, and we got to desire positive company. We got to desire that. And it should come naturally. Once we decide we want to improve ourselves, then it should come naturally. And we can begin to change inside. And some of our tastes and even friendships may change too. And I'm going to tell you something. I've lost a lot of friends because of what I believe in my ministry. I've had to, it just, God would just move them away because, once you start to change, if they're not willing to grow and change with you, guess what? Eventually they're going to walk away. They're going to leave you alone. God's going to move you away and he'll place you around excellent people. And I did a video on that last year, how God will place you around excellent people because God is excellent and he wants the best for us. And if we're striving to be more like Christ, then God is going to place us in the presence of people he wants us around. Now it's up to you to accept those people that he's placed us in. And it's even a thing when he throws you a life jacket. Are you willing to accept that life jacket? Hi, Miss Denise. How are you? How are you? How are you doing? How are you doing? It's up to us to accept that life jacket. And so it's normal. Cool. It's normal to start looking for the company of others who will strengthen the qualities we are trying to develop in ourselves. And that's true. And this is the positive side of the power of association. We absorb good qualities. So if you're around people with bad qualities, that's what you will absorb. But if you're around people with good qualities, you are going to absorb those good qualities. And by spending time with people who embody them, you are going to start to see a change within yourself, and maybe your stress level will go down. And if you're dealing with high blood pressure, that can decrease, your anxiety. You can have less anxiety attacks because that is common to have anxiety attacks when you are caught up in situations and you do not know how to manage, stress and anxiety. And stress, it kills. We talk about that a lot. We learned that stress can kill and it can cause other problems in your body as well, to affect other things in your body. And so we want to associate with people who are secure in who they are. And that's another thing, being secure in who they are, because if you're dealing with or associating with people that are insecure, that lack security, guess what? They're going to put that on you. And guess what's going to happen? By the time you get done fellowshipping or hanging out with them people, you are going to be so stressed out and agitated yourself and frustrated because you've been around people that are insecure and they're bringing all of that negativity, negative energy within the relationship, or, and you don't need that. You don't need to go home after being around someone, or even when they leave your home and they they leave and you be like, oh my God, now my day is ruined because I've had to sit up here and listen to the junk experience. And so, so you got to think about, what it is that you allow into your life. So, and I did a self meditation video. Is out there last year. it's out there if you want to participate in that. I go step by step in it, participate in it. But anyone that wants to join the Zoom, if you want to do a self meditation, off, we do it on Zoom where people are invited. I'm willing to do that as well. But we just want to be able to get back to the things that God has called us. And it's something to really take away. And I won't keep you long. I'm about to end, but just takeaways with this, desiring to be kind. Um, you know, and not just people kind to us, but how can we be kind to others and showing love, and how can we be loved? Because I think that everyone seeks gratitude, respect, and understanding. And when we're treated anything less than that, we do feel starved, but we need to be able to show it to others, and nourish ourselves, nourishing your mind and removing, first of all, recognizing the junk experience, is what I've shared with you, recognizing the things that we consume, who we fellowship with or hang out with, and what we participate in, recognizing the junk experience. And then the takeaways, things that I gave you on how to stay away from it. We know there's ups and downs in life, and we know that we can't get away 100% from negative things because it's going to happen, but we can control what we consume in within ourselves. We need nourishing thoughts and experiences to make our mind strong, right? The unconscious mind does not distinguish between real and unreal. Everything is experience, and it all sinks in. So do you want positive things to sink in that's going to help your mind be stronger and grow, or do you want negative things to sink in? And then we should choose carefully what goes into our consciousness, particularly the mass media, because it's always out there, and we know that, and they're not going to bring you things that are going to keep you feeling good and wonderful. And you know what they're going to bring? Stuff to keep you dramatized and traumatized, and that's not good. And then a healthy mind is also about choices. We should frequently ask ourselves, will this make me calmer? Will this make me wiser? And then we automatically absorb the influence of those around us, for better or for worse. So, we want to be able to try to remove the things that are going to make us worse, because we do want to get better. None of us are perfect. And so we strive to get better in life. And then we become stronger and more secure by association, by spending time with those who embody the qualities that we admire. And so, plan a nourishing outing with friends or family. Choose an activity that relaxes your mind, that nourishes your spirit, and cheers your heart. And then, we want to be able to substitute uplifting things for things that are not so uplifting. So taking part in a task to find some, like I was saying, some uplifting activities, like a favorite book or movie, good music, something that leaves you feeling refreshed and renewed, not something that's got, because we got a lot of rap music out here, and a lot of it, some of it is just downright just bad, and you don't want to put that in your mind, because we see a lot of the killings and all that stuff and rat, going on. We don't want to go through that. And then use your time normally, watching television, if you do watch TV or social media, something that's uplifting, something that's uplifting, not uplifting. You don't want the bad stuff. You want the good stuff. And then evaluate it at the end of the week. Evaluate. And I'm going to ask you all next week. Next week, I'm going to ask you if you've done this experiment, this week-long experiment of substituting uplifting things for not so uplifting stuff. And then I'm going to ask you next week at the end of the week to see if you notice any changes in your mental atmosphere. And if some of you are not able to get to that, then maybe the week after. But I want to see where you all are at. And did you notice a change? And then, is there someone in your life who agitation you? And if it is, before spending time with that person, just pray about it. Lord, just have mercy on me, Lord. Show me how to respond or not to respond to someone that, might have some issues that are not really healthy for me right now. And do your best to remain calm and not add to the agitated atmosphere. So while they're talking, just listen. Don't get caught up. Yeah, girl, this. Or, yeah, man, I know. Don't even do that. Just listen to them calmly. You can, yeah, okay, but just listen to them calmly. And then later evaluate it. Were you a little less agitated than usual that time? Did it make any difference in the quality of time you spent together? And then institute a kind words day. A kind words day. For like a whole day, choose your words carefully. Choose your words carefully. Cultivate an attitude of cheerfulness. Do your best to find positive things to say in all circumstances. That's one of the things. Do your best to find positive things to say in all circumstances. And we actually can do that. I mean, God gives us discernment, and we know there we can do our best. So institute a kind words day for one whole day. For one whole day. Choose your words carefully. Step back, think about it before you say it. And at the end of that day, take a few quiet minutes to evaluate the experience. Did it affect your own state of mind? Do you think it affected others' state of mind? Because what we say to others can affect them in a good way or a bad way, you know? And so those are the things. And sometimes you can do this, and I don't know how hard, challenging it is. Shut the door to the outside world. Turn off your phone and TV and follow a quiet schedule. Follow a quiet schedule. If you can do it even for a few hours, you might not be able to do it the whole day. Some of you have to be on social media. Maybe jobs require that. But for a whole day, if you can, or maybe half of a day, it's almost like fasting. Turn off the phone and the TV and pray. Every hour pray or whatever you do for that time if you can do that. But these are some things, points to practice, and we can go back over these and what I can do. Thank you so much, Mr. J. Thank you for tuning in. I truly appreciate you as well. And see, Miss Unique, I told you sometime men come into my chat. So my commentary also helps men that come over and because I want men to do well and be successful in life as well. Absolutely. And men are raising children as well. We see that a lot. And we want men to keep on striving to be the best that they can be and to be, healthy and things like that as well. So my channel is not just for women. It's for any man that wants to come over, and join in. So those are just some points to practice nourishing the mind. And what I'll do, because it is a lot. I know it is a lot that I just went over for some takeaways. I will post some up on, my community posts. And then you can pick one of those to do. And if you're able to do more than one, do that. But I will put those up on my community post. And I'm going to get out of here because I got to get out here and get my power walk on. I'm not running today. But it is warmer today. Yesterday was so cold, but I'm going to get my power walk on with some of my friends that I see out on the trail that I've gotten to know. And we be waiting for each other. And it's really cool. And then I'll go shoot some hoops. Because remember, I am practicing my 3-pointers because I am going to be shooting some hoop this summer. And I'm going to be taking some folks to the rim. Okay, you guys? So with that being said, don't forget to stick with it. 6 weeks, out there, get your exercise in, because we all need to have a healthy heart. So God bless you all on today. Peace out. And thank you all for tuning in. And don't forget, before you leave, when you go out of the chat, please give my video a thumbs up. God bless you all on today. And Unique, I will definitely put my email out there for you to, wait, actually, here it is. Let me put it in here. I think I can put it in here. Let's see. Can I put it in here? I think I can put it in. Let me see if I can put it here. If I can put it in here. How do I put it in? Let me see. Let me see if I can type it in here. I guess I don't know how to type it in, but I'll actually give it to you because I'm having a hard time trying to put it in there. But I'll put it in the comments, okay? Yeah, I am. Mr. J, before I get out of here, yes, I do shoot hoops. Yeah, I do. Actually, I used to play basketball in high school, junior high, and it was junior high then. Now it's middle school. And I used to play basketball in high school. I was a forward. And another thing is that I played out. I always play. I still play. Yes, yep. I still get out on the court and play. I've been playing a lot on and off. You know, and I love it. I still do it. And I'm gonna, when I get done, like I said, with my power, I am going to be shooting hoops because I gotta practice. I'm telling you, I gotta practice because some of these guys out here, they be trying to, like one time they try to take you to, once they see that you are serious about the game, they be trying to take you to the, they get serious. And so I'm serious when I play. And so I gotta keep my, I gotta stay up on my game, Mr. J. Gotta stay up on my game. So, hey, got to stay up on my game. So, anyway, with that being said, God bless you all on today. And peace out, okay? Talk to you soon. Bye.